Prince Harry is expected to return to London on September 8th to present at the Well Child Awards. This complicates matters because this is the anniversary of Queen Elizabeth's death. And as you know, the royals typically don't like to overshadow anyone or anything that they respect within the institution. And this is, of course, a huge anniversary. So the working royals have no formal engagements booked that day. This would be Prince Harry, taking away from headlines that would typically go to beautiful Queen Elizabeth memories or, that's what I think the headlines would be if it weren't for Harry showing up. It would be like the day Queen Elizabeth did this, and just gorgeous memories of her. One of William's friends said that King Charles meeting Harry would risk repeating the mistakes made by Charles, allowing Prince Andrew back into the fold, a strategy which William opposed, saying William was right about Andrew and he is right about Harry. Charles is weak. Do you have a reaction to that? This is from the Daily Beast.
I think it's quite hard for the king. It's family. And the one thing you can always say about the king, he does have a big heart. He may, he can, he can be a grumpy old man sometime, and he likes things done a certain way, whatever it may be. But ultimately, family is important to him, and it's his son. And that's the problem. He's estranged from his son, and will he be able to make up before he dies, whenever that may be? And that's what is probably a sadness to him. I'm sure you could ask lots of other people who are in similar circumstances if they are estranged from their children for whatever reason. It's sad because when that child comes into the world, you're hoping that it's the happiest time in a family's life, and it's sad that when down the years it all unravels. And we know that it happens all over the shop. All families have got complications, and it's never easy. And for the king, I'm sure he feels that pain. But I will say the well child, I think, and I may be wrong, but they always have this do.
No, they do, yeah.
Exact. Yeah, and it
because
may
because
be.
because Prince Harry and
Yeah,
Meghan were only in the country when
yeah,
the Queen passed away because Meghan was there to accept another participation
yeah,
trophy in that red outfit where she just sat there and basked in the glow of herself, the orange glow, because girlfriend loves a spray tan. And then Prince Harry actually missed the awards that year because he rushed out to miss
yeah.
a plane basically, and then proceed to complain about Prince William not wanting him on their private plane. I mean, can you imagine the
Well, we know what the story was there. No wives were coming up. It was get the sons there and get the immediate, no wives. It may be because they didn't want the hassle of having Meghan there and they said it would be easier. But actually, I think for the Princess of Wales, it
it
was
was the
easier.
first day of school for the children.
Yeah, exactly. So, she said, right, it's probably better. It's sad up there. Don't need my children up there. I need to be with my children. Off you go, William. What can I do? In a way, what can you do?
Imagine being in Princess Catherine's position too, because you want to be there to support your husband. Also, you loved the Queen and had a great relationship with the Queen, but you know that you can't trust international media,
Yeah,
not UK media. The UK media has seemed to be very respectful of Catherine. Look at the way that they dealt
yeah,
with her cancer. It was an American media outlet that hid in the bushes and captured Catherine at Windsor when she was
yeah.
dealing with her cancer battle. But you don't know if media from Spain and
Oh,
Japan are going to camp out outside of your children's home and you're gone. Like
well,
I think she made the right choice
it,
100%. And then you've
it
got
was.
Meghan complaining that she can't be there when she's just trying to dictate the second by second of what's going on in the privacy of this. Don't forget, Harry wrote about being with the Queen's body in Spare.
Yeah, well, so therein lies the absolute issue as to why they didn't send and she didn't go there. But this is, the problem for Harry. He's got himself into an absolute pickle. And for overseas paparazzi, we are quite respectful. We don't see pictures of the children unless it's a birthday. It can either be a picture taken by the Princess of Wales, or they've done a photo shoot and they get something they sort of do two for one with whoever's there that day, and do sort of every child gets a birthday shot, and we'll release that. That's the way it should be. And when they go back to school, whether they have or haven't gone back to school just yet, I'm sure it will be this week. No one will know that they've gone back to school. But what we will know is that the Princess of Wales will have probably done the school run, as we've seen when she talks about when she kept ahead of the carol service last year about the ballet. Keeping a secret. Could Louis keep a secret, as she was doing the school run? And that's which is probably everything that goes on with every parent who's doing the school run. More seriously, Well Child is a hugely significant and important charity, which Harry has been long-term associated with. It gets him back to this country, but immediately, because it almost Well Child, in a way, it's funny. We were talking about on programs last week about creating publicity. Probably does more good for Well Child, even though they've got him as patron coming over, but it does put the spotlight on them.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to say that's great for Well Child, which I know people involved with it. And it's a thoroughly worthy organization. I know
I wasn't complaining about Well Child.
Yeah.
I think and I guess that wasn't written correctly.
Yeah.
The idea of conflicting schedules to me is,
Yeah.
I don't think there's any way King Charles will meet Prince Harry around the anniversary of Queen Elizabeth's death, because King Charles wouldn't want to overshadow Queen Elizabeth's death with whispers about what took place within that meeting.
Yeah.
Proven a few weeks ago was that someone leaked that their communications teams were meeting in London, had paparazzi photos of everyone, people that are not public figures, entering a private club. So someone clearly tipped off the Daily Mail that meeting was happening. I talked to several people that believe that it was Harry and Meghan's team that leaked that. Multiple people said, what's in it for the king to leak this information? So, I think that there's no way that the king would, knowing that this is the date that Harry's coming around, I don't think that the king would want to distract from the anniversary of Queen Elizabeth's death. And Prince Harry going to Well Child, like you said, happens every year. We've come to expect it.
Yeah.
Well Child, for all I know, is a great charity. I believe you when you say that. I think Invictus and Well Child are really two of the only valuable things he's got going for him today. But I don't think that the king would risk overshadowing the anniversary of Queen Elizabeth with such a polarizing meeting.
There's no way it's happening. And it's, if it did, it has to happen under the cover of darkness. And Harry has to say the square root of naffle. Right? If it happens, and that, though, lies in the problem. Because if it doesn't go the way he wants it, then he starts having a hissy fit.
Mm-hmm.
And therein lies the problem. And they've got a lot going on. As I say, there's the state visit, which I think is the week after next, so he doesn't need the hassle. And meanwhile, he's still navigating his way through his cancer recovery. So he doesn't need the hassle. And what will be sad is that Harry will come over. I hope he finds a bit of time. What he should be doing is reconnecting with his mates and going out and getting absolutely blasted somewhere and have a rip-roaring evening with his mates, because he doesn't look like he does that anymore.
No.
So I would have
Remember,
thought
the Ring video of him just knocking on random doors? One of the last times he was there.
Well, so, in a way, it was rather sad, pathetic. So you just hope that he would be allowed to do that, or I don't know how long, it wouldn't be, he could easily do it. Where's he going to stay? Presumably in a hotel somewhere.
Yeah.
There are all that, and then it comes back to security. Well, he creates part of the security problem, because if he was holed up in Kensington Palace or one of the other London residences, yeah, not the Buckingham Palace, because
But
that's under. But
he's got his mother's paranoia where he's convinced somebody's going to spy on him. And it's like, what do you even have to say that's remotely interesting? What's left?
well, you did make a point. The overseas paparazzi, that is almost the problem.